Welcome to the third episode of the FORCESPRO demo series on active suspension control. In this video, we will show how to run the code for generating the FORCESPRO QP General solver for active vehicle suspension control. We are in the active suspension control folder of the low-level interface MATLAB examples provided with your FORCESPRO client. Let's look into the active suspension control script used for generating the QP General solver. First, we load the model data, which in this case is comprised of the state space matrices displayed in the workspace above. Then, we define the road bumps for each side of the car by introducing the vectors of the road height for each 5 millisecond time step. Vector road 1 refers to the right side of the car, whereas vector road 2 refers to the left side and is therefore set to 0. We can now simulate the passive model, that is, a model without suspension control, for which we can extract and post-process the system response and system input. Now, we turn towards model predictive control. As described in the previous video, we introduce basic problem dimensions and parameters. Most notably, the number of state variables equal to 6, the number of control inputs equal to 4, the length of the prediction horizon equal to 20, various cost factors in the objective function, as well as the lower and upper bounds on control inputs. For MPC without preview, we define a multi-stage problem similar to the one presented in the previous video. The only difference being that now we don't have the preview information in the form of runtime parameters for the whole prediction horizon. We then generate the solver and simulate it for all 720 steps, equal to the variable kmax_pre. As the next step, we develop the MPC with preview. It's done in an almost identical fashion, with the only addition being the parameters for preview. We then follow the steps from the previous video in order to simulate the model. Finally, the remainder of the script are the plotting functions for representing results. In particular, we graphically represent the road disturbance, heave, pitch, and roll acceleration, as well as the control inputs for all 4 wheels. We can now run the model and compare the results. In the command window, we can see the FORCESPRO version being used, as well as the server used for code generation. We are now generating the QP General solver for MPC without preview information. The solver has been successfully generated and downloaded to our host machine, upon which the simulation starts. The QP General solver takes 8 iterations and approximately 250 microseconds to solve the problem, while consuming around 90 kilobytes of memory. Now we proceed with generating the active suspension control solver with preview information. Finally, the MPC solver with preview has been successfully generated and downloaded in around 20 seconds. As we can see in the command window, it takes the solver approximately the same time and number of iterations to solve the MPC problem with preview. All relevant solver files can be seen in the current folder, together with the folders containing additional files and libraries. The names of the files and folders correspond to the ones given by the user during code generation. This completes the code example demo for FORCESPRO QP General solver. In the next video, we will look into the main differences between the FORCESPRO QP General and QP Fast solvers.